from an early age, how I looked at audiences. You know, we're talking here about audiences as you move on and being relevant as time moves on, so that you keep in touch with those audiences and you're able to say, listen, now I am watching and I'm observing. Because the reality in creativity, it is also about observation. It is about how you observe what happens around you that inspires you. And if you are someone who has to stage something, it is because you have observed. And it is about that observation that I'm going to be talking about as I move on with the journey. At the age of 8, I decided that I was going to form a group of dancers. And so I gathered my friends around, we lived in Road 18 in Chesterville. So I brought this group together, trained them, and then we went from house to house to perform. And people would give us pennies. And then we move to the next house. We perform. They give us pennies. So at the end of the day, then we would go and buy sweets and duff cake. I don't know if that thing is still there. There was a thing called duff cake. And so we would then buy duff cakes. And that was how we earned something out of being creative. And that was in 1950. So then as I went on, and I did not know that I was doing theater. And I did not know that those people were my audiences. It's only now when I look back, then I really understand those were my audiences. And they encouraged me. And I kept on coming up with all kinds of things, of different sort of performances. I started to have another set of audiences through the things that I was writing. Then came a blow which was going to be a blow to my father. And at St. Christopher's, then I picked up books by William Shakespeare. You know, I don't know why, but I just liked what he was writing. And I liked Julius Caesar. So I went to the headmaster and I said, can we perform an excerpt from Julius Caesar? And they said, we've never done this here, but you can go ahead. So I did a Mark Antony's oration, and then I had all the other boys as citizens. After we performed, I've never had such an applause. And back in the wings, as I had the applause, then I said, you know what? If I became a doctor, I would never get this applause. So from now on, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'll just tell my father, I want to be an actor. I then went to a friend of mine who was an editor of the Daily News. Some of you may know about him, Tertius Mayberg. Tertius Mayberg at the time was the editor of the Daily News, and we got friendly, we got together, and I said to him, listen, I have this play that I'm doing, and I would like you to send one of your reporters to write about it, to critique it. And he said, but it's in Zulu. And I said, no, I'll arrange a synopsis in English. Let him come. So he sent a young reporter at the time, and his name was Carl Foreman, you know. So Carl, I said to Tertius, if the review is bad, don't publish it. But if it's good, that's okay. So Carl came and wrote a great review about this amazing thing that came from the townships. Guess what? Then I had all racial groups coming in to see the Zulu play, of course, with an English synopsis. So I started to build audiences. And then the University of Natal then said to me, please come and stage your productions at the University of Natal. To cut a long story short, I had no idea where this thing was going to go. I only understood the importance of uMabata when we performed at the Aldwych Theatre in 1972. And we had 11 newspapers in London, you know, giving rave reviews. And in the evening, it was the same thing. And that is when I started to understand. So what I'm saying is that the journey that you take in life, it also gives you an opportunity to meet audiences and be inspired by those audiences. So then it went on to the point where we took uMabata all over the world, and it was just the same thing. What was a bit disappointing was that in South Africa, in fact, the people outside, when you talk about audiences, they appreciated more than the people in South Africa. So we did more performances outside of South Africa than here, which also tells you why Ladysmith Black Mambazo perform more outside than here. So that also then gave me an opportunity to work and collaborate with others, with other directors and other writers around the world. And that also gave me an opportunity to reach out to other audiences. So I ended up doing productions with the Royal Shakespeare Company. We had sort of mailing lists, you know, that would send from New York to Philadelphia, to Baltimore, to Washington, D.C., to Detroit, to Chicago. And so we went to all these places, you know, performing. And today, now I'm just fast tracking, today I have used all those collaborations and the things that I have done in America, in Europe, and other places. I've kept the contacts. And we are working on productions for collaborations. The fact is that South Africa is a small market. Is a small market. Whatever you do, yes, it's wonderful, but you work so hard, but you never see the returns. You don't really get what you deserve. So what you need to do is to go beyond the borders, where people are going to respect you, where people are going to love what you do, where people are going to inspire you. And the world is so small now because of technology. So don't sit there and say, the Department of Arts and Culture is not giving me any money. The Department of Arts and Culture won't give you any money because that money is going somewhere, you know, not to you. So, and it's not that big. So what you need to do is to say, how do I create this brand, which is me, in such a way that I reach out to people who are going to love me and love what I do. So the world is out there waiting. You are a brand, but you don't know that you're a brand. You are a brand because there is a neighbor who loves you. In fact, your mother loves you. Your father loves you. And there are a lot of people who think you're talented. So get out there and prove them that you can make it happen for yourself. Thank you.